Hello, everybody. Happy Mindfulness Monday. Woo, I'm hot, man. Sitting in the sunshine, drinking some coffee. Probably too much coffee, but you know, it is what it is. If you hear Michael in the background, he is doing some upgrades in our office. I have probably shared this with many of you, but we are upgrading our EHR system, which is our electronic health records, to make it easier to just navigate office stuff. So we've kind of dug our heels in the ground a little bit on it, but I'm excited. It's going to be great, and we are problem solvers. We know how to take frustration and anger and turn it into action. So if you hear Michael in the background, he is setting all that up, getting that installed today, and it doesn't really impact you. I just felt like sharing. So anyway, happy Mindfulness Monday, y'all. I know I'm on break, but guess what? I am here in the office, and we are working on stuff for 2021. We have taken your feedback as far as what you wrote down in the office on things you want to learn. Many of you wrote down, food awareness, emotional awareness, meditation, yoga. What's up, Beth? Oh, I'm so glad you made it to Texas. I'm so happy. We took your feedback and we take it seriously. So if you remember, we had a little sheet in the office that we've asked you a lot in this community. What do you want to learn from us? And so many of you write down things like overcoming trauma and emotions and asking Michael questions about food as medicine and nutritional awareness and mindfulness with food and meditation and yoga and breathwork and all the things that are awesome. And we get that there is only so much time in a day. There's only so much time that people have with us. And so we took that and we said, how can we streamline this content? How can we get this content and information and wisdom out to you, even if you are not local to Minnesota? If you've moved, if you tune in from different countries, different states. And we came up with creating courses. So we have been hard at work, not only upgrading our EHR. I know I say I'm going to take a break, y'all, but we're working because we love what we do. And we believe in always upgrading things so that you can get the best information out there and you can continue to evolve and transform your life. So we have been creating courses. One of the courses that I am creating is the alchemy of trauma and understanding what trauma is and how to start to master the foundations of the body-mind-brain connection. I have so many people in the office ask me all the time about trauma and physiology and the fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. And oftentimes those conversations can be really lengthy. And so I just don't have sometimes the bandwidth in the office to support you. And so I said, how can I streamline this so that you do have access to this wisdom of what I've learned and what's really helped me, as well as people I work with on a more individual basis. So be on the lookout for that. And as many of you know, I teach Soul-Filled Saturdays on Saturdays. So that is coming back in 2021. Our first class is January 9th. So mark your calendars. I did just post it on the Inspire Life Facebook page. If you follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, you have the whole schedule for the whole year. So there's no excuses. The link is also in this video. If you're tuning in on YouTube, I'll post a link in the video below, in the comments section below, in the bio, the description. And the reason why I did that is because this series, although you can benefit from one class, I generally like to build. So we go into breath work, we go into emotional capacity, we go into how that influences our brain, relationships, spirituality. It just goes deeper and it's juicy and we learn cognitively, but we take what we learn and we actually embody it into our physiology, which is a very unique strategy that frankly, I don't think exists in many places. I know for me, it was not in my educational system, and I wish that it was. And that's one of the reasons why Michael and I are creating this Inspire Life course library, is because we realize a lot of what we have learned has been additional trainings outside of the general educational system. Like I get many of you, your goal is not to go to chiropractic school or do some of the network spinal training that I have done, but it's not streamlined. It's not in our educational system. And imagine a world where we actually learn how to self-regulate. We learned how to actually deal with triggers and deal with challenges in a more body integrated, embodied way, in a more coherent, adaptable way. Can you imagine that? Like, just think if you were sending your kindergartner off into school and you knew that they were being taught strategies on how to deal with challenges in their life in a more nervous system focused way. You think the world would be a different place? I certainly do, but I know that it's not being taught and I wish it was. So my thing is like, if it's not out in the world, we're going to create it right here today and obviously over the next couple weeks. So we are looking to launch those courses. My guess with our website, we're also upgrading our websites, y'all. We're doing all the upgrades. There's so many upgrades, but it's great. We're doing that. And my goal is to have those courses, at least one for myself, and Michael's doing an Inspire Health Blueprint by February, probably mid-February, plan on that. So we are looking for beta testers. We are looking for people where if you want to jump in and give us feedback and see how it goes, we are going to have a beta cohort of people. So that's going to be limited. And the reason that we do that is because we want to make sure that all the kinks are out and like the links work and, you know, we're not saying a bunch of times in our videos, right? So having a beta group go through, we can support you, we can help you navigate it. So we're probably going to limit that to maybe 20 people to make sure, again, that you're well supported, because I don't believe in trying to like have a bunch of people go through it and just have it be really shitty. That's not what I'm about. I'm about quality. We're about quality over quantity, and you all know that. So be on the lookout for some courses coming your way. And lastly, a little bit of education today when it comes to triggers. You know, I had someone ask me recently, I was asking for feedback on what they want to learn about trauma, and I have a whole curriculum here in my computer based on everything that I've learned, all the books I've read, and I'm streamlining it for you. And she asked me, you know, why in 2020 do I feel more triggered? Why in 2020 am I feeling like I'm triggered by new things, other things I'm not as triggered? And my simple answer to that is, and if you follow me on Instagram, I went into it a little bit, but my simple answer to that is if you are doing any sort of neurology, body, brain, mind, nervous system, mindfulness work, your brain is changing. This is what we call neuroplasticity. So we are beings of nature. We are basically sponges. We're like vitalistic supercomputers. And so when the world comes in and there's stimuli coming in from the external and internal environment up through our spinal cord to our brain, we process things, right? And so if our brain is changing, our perception of the world on a conscious and subconscious level changes as well. So what used to trigger you may not trigger you anymore. And in 2020, we have been living in a world of hypervigilance. It's been probably, you've noticed, more challenging to maybe be positive, optimistic, creative, because there's consistent change every single day. So our nervous system is living in this world of hypervigilance, meaning we're constantly aware. Is this person safe? Are they wearing a mask or not? Am I safe? Can I trust this business? Can I trust these people? Can I trust what the president says? What's going to happen on the news? Like, there's all this stuff we're navigating every single day. And so our nervous system has to default mode into survival. So more of our amygdala thinking, our hypothalamus, our brainstem, so areas of the brain that are more mammalian, reptilian. Our trigger brain, right? Where maybe we snap, we get angry, we're a little bit more reactive than responsive, our heart rate increases or maybe it decreases. You know, I'm gonna be talking about all the things, all of these ways that we respond to triggers in our life in the course, but 2020, man, it's provided so much opportunity, and I just want you all to feel a sense of acknowledgement that it's not uncommon to have your triggers show up, to feel more reactive this year, because since March, even before that, there has been consistent change every single day. There's updates. We don't know what to trust. There's all these things going on. And so I'm a huge fan of coming back to like, what is it that you can lean into? What is it that you can trust? What is consistent in your life? How can you be more sound in your body, mind with an ever-changing world? So back to this question, why do I feel more triggered? Why are my triggers changing in 2020? It's because of the way that the world is right now. Our social nervous systems, when we're not able to see people's faces like this, you can see my face, you can't pick up on subtle cues of trust. You can't pick up on subtle cues of safety. That is a number one hierarchy of needs, right? Is feeling safe. And so when you can't pick up on the people around you and your nervous system is trying to process, like, am I safe or is this a threat? We're constantly, a little bit on edge. And some of you may maybe feel that a lot at the surface, right? Tight chest, anxiety. We want to learn how to self-regulate in a constant changing world. And I will argue that even 50 years ago, when our world started moving at a faster pace with the Industrial Revolution and the technology revolution, is the world is moving at a much faster pace than our nervous system was designed. And so we need to learn how to upgrade our nervous system and our ability to handle this change and have a greater capacity to deal with constant environmental change. We need to learn how to actually tune in with here more. So if the world around us is consistently upgrading and changing, how do we actually tune in to our own beautiful living technology as well? And that's what this course is going to go into. So I'm super excited. It's been something I've been working on for a long time. And I just, this year has really called me into greater levels of leadership. I've had to look at my own triggers, my own traumas, and really work through that as a leader to consistently bring this teaching to the world, knowing that I'm putting myself out there and putting myself at risk to be maybe challenged, but it's my soul calling. And I really desire all of you and invite all of you to step into that leadership and that leadership when it comes to navigating your triggers, which, by the way, your triggers aren't going to go away. I promise you, they're not. We need to learn how to navigate them and be more embodied in the experience and tune into our bodies more, because I believe that the best technology we have is our own internal operating system, our own nervous system. So I believe that the more that we can learn about that and the alchemy of it and understanding the foundations of tuning into it, I think we can become stronger leaders. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have tapped into that is going to change in 2021 is our sense of leadership and what leadership means is evolving as we speak. And leadership is not just going to be this one person on a pedestal, on a platform. It's going to be and require all of us to step into leadership. And if you want to learn more about this, it's called Emergent leadership, where when you notice someone, just your average Joe or average Josephina, what male, female, doesn't matter, your average person on the street, when you notice them being courageous, speaking up, maybe helping someone, picking up trash, your nervous system entrains to that, because we're beings of community, right? We're communal creatures as humans. And so we automatically start to feel inspired by that in the presence of emergent leadership and stepping into our own ways of being, of integrity, of commitment, of consistency, of discipline, of persistence, of courage, of love, of compassion. It doesn't just start with the people up here, right, on this top of the pyramid. It starts with you. And it starts with almost this circular community rising of all of us stepping into greater levels of leadership. So I know this Mindfulness Monday is kind of all over the place, but it all comes back to feeling that sense of leadership, of coherence, and of safety in your body. Because I believe, again, leaders who are embodied and leaders who have a sense of awareness of the needs of others around them, those are the true leaders that I think need to rise up. And that includes all of you, because I see all of you on here engaging. I see your shares. And whether you think you're a leader or not, leadership is going to look different, and leadership is changing as we know it. It's no longer people on thrones, pedestals, platforms. It starts within you. So I hope this inspires you as we move into 2021. Know that you don't have to wait for January 1st to start something new. If you're curious about, the alchemy of trauma, I'm going to be talking about these things of leadership in the Soul Filled Saturday series. Reach out to me, sign up. Anyone is welcome. And I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Have a happy Mindfulness Monday. And if you're tuning in later on YouTube, you know where to find me. Click the links below to sign up. And last but not least, to get on the list for the trauma course and Michael's course, just send us a message. Shoot a message, shoot an email. You know how to find us. We are only going to take a certain cohort of people, so that way we can continuously upgrade and give you the best content possible. So with that, have a great Monday. Peace, love, and keep inspiring.